Do you think I should hook him up to like a bigger speaker, or is this good?
If you're good.
I think I can hear you okay. I can hear you okay. Can you hear us all good? All right, here we are with episode 29 of Untapped. We've got Dana, Mr. Doc's Beats, Sutton House here today, and we've got RJ in the house, app developer from Wisconsin. Levi's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes. So we're just vibing, man. We've had some challenges the past couple weeks, but we're back in it, man. We're getting back inside of the Untapped studio right now, and we're just super stoked. We got Kai Jr. behind the camera and audio. He's interning under Dana right now. So we're just super happy. We're super grateful to be here with RJ today. Dana, what's the word, man? You got a show coming up, eh?
I do, yeah. I got a show coming up next Thursday. Or let's see. No, I'll fly out on Thursday. It's on Saturday. And then I'll be home in Chicago for like a whole 10 days. I got 2 more shows. I got a boat show, playing a yacht.
What?
And then we're playing like a little club set. Not little, it's like a 3-hour set on the 26th. So,
Mr. RJ, how far are you from Chicago?
About 3 hours.
Ooh.
2.5, 3.
where at? Where in Wisconsin?
What is that?
Where at?
I'm from like Madison, a little bit further than Madison.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you northeast? What direction of Madison are you?
Down and to the left.
Right on, man, for sure. So you're in the direction of heading towards Platteville and things, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Heck yeah, man. So RJ, I connected with him. I was on the Red Hawk Recap, Tim Welch's podcast, and he reached out to me after watching it and offered to build an app. And I almost couldn't believe it. The timing for our business at the Recharge Center to grow, it's something I'd been really wanting to seek out and get some help with the website and the app development and thing. RJ reached out, build us the most tremendous app you could possibly imagine, ended up building our complementary business partner, Sean Fairchild's Art of Recovery, and is going to be working on Tim Welch and Red Hawk stuff with app development. RJ is super high end, the top of the level that you could possibly be in website and app development. I'm just so grateful for you, brother. You not only have you helped us with just the app development, but also your business knowledge. You're a rare person that can communicate so well and integrate the business with the technology. I'm so impressed, brother. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and thank you guys also for having me on. Also, this is my first podcast I've ever been on, so this is super cool. So this is different, but yeah.
Heck yeah, man! We're so stoked, man. So I'd love to get to everybody to get to know you a little bit better. I was just talking to Tim, and he plans to fly you down in September, and plan is to come and stay with us and hang and get to, I feel like you're part of the family and the community, even though you're in Wisconsin. So I can't wait for that to go down. So were you born in the Madison, Wisconsin area?
Yep, I was born here. I've always lived in the same house. Parents live together. I have a sister. She's a year and a half older than me. So I'm 25, and then, so she's 27. And, yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Go ahead, brother.
What did you go to University of Wisconsin, and did you?
No, so the first 2 years I went to a junior college in McHenry, Illinois. Oh, and then I played baseball there. And then after that, I transferred back to I transferred to UW Whitewater. My sister was going there, so then I transferred to there. So then we would just like drive to school together. It's just a lot easier this way. And then we had to only go to school like twice a week also, and that saved a lot of time driving because it's like an hour drive. So yeah, and then I'm graduating at the end of this year. And yeah, so
Could it have been possible that Dana and RJ ever crossed each other in baseball?
Maybe. Where did you ever play any? Did you play travel ball when you were like younger, like let's say 13 or even younger?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because we're the same age. I'm 25 too.
Oh, really? Where'd you play at?
We played a lot of tournaments in Illinois, but we always went to go play in the Dells. Like we played a tournament in the Dells like almost twice a year, it seemed like.
Okay, yeah. We might have played. That would be pretty cool. Interesting.
Right? That's crazy. Did you go to school for, I don't know what I guess your major would be if you were developing apps and stuff like that, if it's like web design or anything like that. Did you go to school for that?
No, I actually didn't. So, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, going into college. So I just did the business management. My parents own a business, and so, yeah, I learned a lot of stuff from them, and I like how, you shape how the business is run and stuff, and I think that's really cool because, the back end of things and making how it all like works and stuff. I feel like that stuff is really cool. And then when COVID came, my dad actually, because I still didn't know what I wanted to do for like a job for like business, like owning a business or something. And then he wanted an app for his company. So he recommended like, hey, you ever thought of doing app development? And, thought it was a pretty good idea. I liked the idea, like I can travel where I want and work where I am. So I really like that part of it. And yeah, it's kind of like I love the creative parts of all of it and stuff. But yeah, so I'm still graduating with a business management degree, and there's like a sub kind of thing of like an online sales like kind of thing too with it. But
That's amazing.
Is there something that, do you need any sort of certificate or anything like that to sort of solidify you as, an app developer or anything like that I guess would make you in the business world, you're doing business management, seem more, I don't know, like businesses would be more interested in having you because you have a certain certificate or, whatever that may be?
Yeah, I haven't really actually even thought of that. I should probably look that up and see if there is something that I can do to do that. Yeah. I was kind of just banking on, look at my work.
Exactly right. Your portfolio.
Yeah, having like a portfolio. Yeah, that's the like best thing for like social media. It's hard for me to post. Like I love how like the Recharge Center and like the Art of Recovery, like. You guys can post so often and be engaged with your customers. It's like I wish I could do that with like apps. I don't really know how to or what I would be posting about to like engage with people. But yeah, I really like that about you guys' companies. It's super nice.
Man, that explains how you got so much business knowledge and things like that. I might have missed it. What business does your parents have?
They own a dry cleaning company.
Oh, heck yeah. So you get to really learn how people work and how important it is to develop those connections in business.
Yeah. That's
beautiful. And I'm really curious, we may have touched on it before, but I'm curious to hear how you first came across Timbo Sugar Show.
I think the first time that I found out about... I have no idea about the Timbo Sugar Show, but I know I found out about Sean on the Contender Series, and yeah, after that, and his personality is, I feel like Sean is he's so easy to like relate to if you like, like he does like the podcast, and he just seems like you would want to hang out with him, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he doesn't yeah, he just seems just like a homie, like he doesn't like act like too cool or anything like that. It's super relatable like that. So I don't know. That's why I started watching them all the time, watching both of them. I watch them a lot now. They post so much content too, so yeah.
How did they impact? How did they impact your own life and health optimization and things like that?
A big one was like getting into stoicism. They had like Marcus Aurelius. They would like talk about quotes, and philosophy is super cool. I love that. And yeah, I mean that's a big one, stoicism. I mean you can learn a lot from it, and I try to think about that every single day, and not let my emotions, take over,
That's beautiful. And you're on the Patreon, Tim Welch's Patreon as well, right?
Yep.
Highly recommend that. I don't know if you've seen he's got a Substack where he's doing like a blog on there, and I'm super impressed with his writing skills. Tim's writing skills have been impressive.
He takes his time. That's good. Make sure it's good. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Did you already, going to college and stuff like that, you said you played baseball. Did you already have like a routine of things and how you went about things? And I'm assuming you do now just because you're involved in this community and everybody seems to, have a routine, and a morning routine, a night routine, all that sort of stuff. When did that kind of start for you, if you did, or I guess even start to recognize like, hey, I should probably take my health a little bit further,
Yeah, so definitely, it was when I went to junior college, because that was the first time that I didn't live with my parents anymore. So I lived with two other roommates of mine. They both were on the baseball team with me, and they were both really clean, and I just didn't want to be like annoying or anything. So I started being like really clean and doing all these like good habits too. I don't know if it's like a competition kind of thing, honestly, but it's like, oh, you're eating this kind of food, well, I can at least do a little bit better, and then you can watch me do it, and then like, I don't know, it feels good. I don't know if it's like a competition thing like that, but honestly, yeah, I lost like 30 pounds my like freshman year, and then I'm just, yeah, habits a huge thing, like you were talking about, or like your routine. And like I would do the exact same thing every single day. So I'd go to college Monday through Thursday. I had classes, and then I would drive home here, which is like a 2-hour drive from my college, and then I would spend the weekend here and then drive back. And I actually like the like 2-hour driving alone. Like you just like, that's when you think, I love that. I love driving.
Yeah. Got to watch out for those deers, though, right? In the wintertime.
Yeah,
Dana knows about that.
Yeah, I hit a deer before. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So Kai over here, he's kind of interning under Dana. He's really interested in getting into like technology. He's learning Adobe Premiere, and what's the thing you're using for animation, bud? After Effects, and he really is starting to learn and pick up this stuff pretty fast. He's kind of interested in learning how to develop apps too. What would you recommend to somebody who wanted to get into app development? Like, how could they get started?
I say the first thing to do, the easiest thing to like learn would actually probably be using like ChatGPT, probably. I mean, because you can ask it to do something for you, and it'll show you exactly that, and then you can say, oh, make it bigger, and then it'll just add, making it bigger, and you can see the difference of like what happened. And then I don't know, that's how I learned, is there's a difference here, that's what it must be.
So that's pretty recent then, you've been using that. Like how recent did you start developing apps and stuff like that?
Like 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and ChatGPT was around back then, but
yeah. Did you start ChatGPT, or like were you learning from books or YouTube?
YouTube was probably the biggest one. Yeah,
right on.
YouTube. Yeah,
that's amazing. So you're self-taught on the apps then, pretty much, right?
What was that?
You're self-taught on the apps for the most part.
Yep, self-taught. That part, and then Photoshop, like graphic design, like Adobe After Effects. I like got into a little bit. That's a really cool program. I want to learn how to use that one more too. Um, but yeah.
We want to know, all of us are completely blown away by the Art of Recovery app under the memberships. Everybody's got to check out the Art of Recovery app. Download it. It's the best. You can see his work. The Recharge Center app. It's top of the line. If you look at apps out there, you're gonna see that this one is the future of apps, and it's where the top of the game is. On the Art of Recovery under memberships, he designed like 3 logos that are what Sean came up for or I guess Sean came up with the logos, but he took them to the next level. How the heck did you do that, man? We've been wondering.
Yeah, so I mean, Sean had a vector image of that logo, and that logo already is super cool. And then I just zoomed in, took a lot of time, and cut out certain bits of it, and then Photoshop's all about something called layers. So if you think of it, there's the vector image is the layer, and then I put a metal layer on top of it, so then it looked just like the entire thing was like metal pretty much. And then I did that for like the membership layer, so it was like I don't even know what they were, like starter or bronze, silver, and platinum. Yeah.
So you came up with that on your own, that thing? Because that's a game, I've never seen anything like it. It's a game changer. It like pops out of the screen, almost like a 3D sort of image.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool too.
A humble man.
Dude, you're an awesome guy. Man, I can't wait till you come down here and hang with everybody and go through the Art of Recovery, drop you in the cold plunge. You been in a cold plunge before?
Oh, I haven't. I'm excited.
Heck yeah, man. What about jiu-jitsu? You rolled before?
No, I have. Well, I've never been to like actual jiu-jitsu class. In like when I did karate, we had like jiu-jitsu like sections pretty much, where that's what we would be doing for like 3 months, and then we like do a test, you'd show like that you learn the stuff, and then you move on to like something else. But I never actually went to like a BJJ like school or anything like that. No. But I want to. Definitely want to.
So where do you see, I guess, I know you said you got into app development because your dad kind of encouraged you. Do you see that being your career, and then implementing also your business management degree into that? And is Wisconsin where you want to be, or do you want to travel? Do you want to live somewhere else? Kind of what does that look like for you since you're graduating?
Yeah, so for the app development, that definitely is what I want to do. Like, I just love everything about it, really. Like, you're able to work with all the different types of companies, it can be any company. And I mean, that's super cool. I get to like work with all the owners too, and I feel like that's really useful for me. You pick up on like certain things about them, and yeah, that's really useful. The creative part about it, that's also super nice. I love that. And then travel wise, like, yeah, you were saying, yeah, like I can travel and work where I want. And so, yeah, like potentially I could travel down and live in Arizona, get a place down there and live there for like a certain amount of time. Right. And then travel back here like half the time, because the summer. Yeah, what's the temperature there right now?
No, you don't. No, don't even. You don't even need to worry. I'm already gonna tell you, don't come here in the summer. It's all good. Yep. Don't worry about it.
But the winter time, you might want to be down here.
Yeah, as soon as October hits, come, stay till Christmas, go back, be with your family for Christmas, all that sort of stuff. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, dodge the snow and dodge the heat. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
I was in La Crosse, Wisconsin for a couple years, and man, I gotta say I don't miss those winter times, man.
No, those are terrible. Waking up and you got so much snow on the car, and then you gotta get it all off, get the ice off. Oh man, then the foggy windows. Oh yeah, that's great. And then your car is stuck because you can't back out. It's too much snow now around it. Yeah.
I think of that sometimes when it is too hot down here. I'm like, you know what? At least in the evenings, I can jump in the pool and we can get outside and chill. Because there, I felt like it was like at least 5-6 months where it was night, and the nighttime it just got worse. I mean, that's why I think there's so many drinking problems, and I probably drank more than I ever have when I was in La Crosse. I guess it's a big drinking town, but it's crazy that how many people I met that were already having liver issues, like at in their 30s. But it's like the cold there, you can't, you cover up and you do all you can, but it's almost like sort of like the summers out here where everybody else kind of stays in the daytime, but at least you can kind of go out at night. But I remember thinking I'd wake up in the morning, and at first when it would snow, I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. I can't believe it. It's snowing. I can't believe all the snow. And then after maybe a month or two of that, the very first year I lived there, I was like, I'd look out the window and be like, oh man, because I didn't realize I had gotten it. I think the third week I was out there, I got a warning note that said that if I didn't shovel my walk-in area, that I would get like $100 fine or something. I was like, no, I didn't. So so I was like, oh no, it snowed. I got to shovel the walk, so I'd have to get up earlier for that. And then I had a shop at a nutrition store at the time. It was probably like a 15-minute drive. So then you got to drive. I had a little sports car at the time. I had to end up getting the Blizzak tires so I could get around. And then I'd get to the shop and I'd have to do the same thing, shovel off the walk, and the amount of extra time invested. It was so frustrating. And then you leave work and then your you got to do it again at nighttime. And when it's super hot here, I think about that, because at least I'm like, hey, we got the pool and the thing. But man, in the fall, in the summertime out there, oh, I miss it so much.
Yeah, coming up right here. So yeah, that's super nice. I love it too.
I'm gonna check to see where Levi is real quick, make sure he got it. So Mr. Levi Kelly, he is out in Florida training Kill Cliff Fight Club, and he was driving 2.5 hours a day out there. He'd drive there and back, and it was going to be a lot on him, because he'd train with these crazy Dagestani MMA guys over there, and they'd go crazy on him wrestling, and then he'd just be sitting in his car. So he was starting to, got his hip hurt a little bit, and messed up his hip a little bit. So him and Taya ended up moving pretty close to where the training center is, and he also got off, ended up taking on a job there where he's coaching and training. Levi will have to talk about it next time. But it's this awesome dude who is at the really, really advanced in training those that have disabilities and using different therapies and modules, exercise modules, and optimizing health to get them walking, and all sorts of breakthroughs in that area. He does TED Talks, and I forgot his name, but anyways, Levi is training directly under him and working it's at Kill Cliff Fight Club, where the baseball area for training baseball athletes is right next to the MMA area. So he can train MMA and then work and make some extra bucks there. So they just moved, and he's been kind of developing his client load. So we'll probably be able to check in with him next week and get updates on him. But I know he had an amateur fight scheduled, and it was supposed to happen, I think, next week, the same weekend as Sugar's fight, and the guy pulled out. I think you might have seen Levi. So now he's gonna try to take a fight in there, maybe October. And I know that he really, after that fight, he really wants to get out here and start training under Tim Welch again, and then take a fight out here. So we're super excited for Mr. Levi, and he just messaged that he had a big new thing with his job or whatever just now, so he's not going to be able to pop into the podcast. So we're going to send our good thoughts and prayers.
RJ and Levi look like they could be brothers, no?
Dude, yes, I think so.
So RJ can fill in whenever Levi's not available.
I like that idea. That sounds good. So at the
About how tall are you, RJ? 6'2". Oh, okay, so yeah, so you guys are like the same person.
Yeah, baseball background and all that. That's beautiful. So we got cancer update real quick. Let's see, a couple weeks ago we got a scan back. Shocked, surprised. It came back with a lot of progression of disease, which means we found a lot more cancer in the body. We've got 4 3-centimeter tumors Those are about the size of a grape maybe, and then we've got maybe 50 to 60 1 centimeter tumors just from the neck down into the pelvis region. So we were like, so we were actually in this location, the TRC shop. It was my dad, Ara, and I. So when I got the results, even after getting so many of them, it's been 11 years now, it's kind of like, the stoicism thing, or like what Tim and Sean teach and things like that is you don't want to get too up or too down on a win or a loss. Of course, you want to celebrate and that kind of thing when you win, and you also want to make sure that you don't just ignore and try to over tough out a tough thing. So we had a little moment there where it was kind of shocking, very surprising, just a couple of tears, hug, prayed, and hey, let's figure out what the plan is. And once the plan is in place, then I just work the plan. It's, that really helps me out. Once I get a plan rolling, then I work the plan. So I'm going to be meeting with my doctor this Thursday. We've continued chemo. We stepped up another little treatment. It's a medicine that I can use to kind of get the tumors under control a little bit for the next 2 to 3 months. But we can't use it for too long because the body adapts, and then it kind of takes me down a side. The biggest trouble we've had is there's one pesky tumor, darn it. It's kind of like back here somewhere, and it's hitting a nerve, and it's hitting a nerve near the spine. So it's going down here, and it's causing a lot of trouble. So I've been reminded of dealing with pain a lot again, and the elements, the things that I do when I do get pain. And the first thing I remember is that no matter what, when you get a really bad pain in your body that seems like it's overwhelming and you can't get rid of it, there's always a solution to that pain. The pain is a sign in your body that something wrong, so we kind of know it's the tumor or whatever. So what's the solutions that I can do? Well, I could take a bunch of medicine. I could lay in the hospital bed, but we know for me that's it's gonna make me less likely to win, to succeed and continue to thrive in the battle against cancer. So there, I have to come up with things. The second thing I do is I look at my resting heart rate. So if my resting heart rate is around, let's say 65, if it gets up to 75 to 80, then I know it's much stress on the body, so I need to take some kind of pain medication. And maybe I always start with kratom. Maybe I got to throw in some Tylenol. I try to avoid the narcotics as much as possible. If we have to tap into those, I tap into those. But usually the first thing I do is I start with maybe a little bit of kratom to try to get the resting heart rate down. But I also followed it up with breath work, movement. I've been doing a lot of sauna stuff because I've been dealing with some fevers. So I hit the sauna. Cold plunge when I have fevers doesn't work as good. And then we got another one that's messing with my stomach. So I got to stay kind of close to a toilet. It's a little inconvenient sometimes, but I've been asked lately, I'll make videos and people are like, you look like you're doing good. Or like right now I'm able to talk and I'm surrounded by, RJ's over there, but it feels like you're right here. And I got one of my favorite dudes ever, man. You guys are family, and I got my boy here. It feels good and everything like this. So I can push myself to do things. I can go out and run in a sauna suit in the heat, get myself very uncomfortable because that's going to attack the cancer. Pushing myself to that level attacks a cancer, keeps me strong mentally and all that kind of stuff. I go close to God. I can go spiritually. After that, though, then I got to rest. It's kind of like when you lift weights or you work out really hard, you got to have that recovery time, and your body almost takes a little step back. So for me, it takes a big step back. So I got to really focus on that rest. If I take the boys to school and I got to run the business for TRC, and then I got to go to, last week I did 3 or 4 doctor's appointments and chemo. When I got to do those things, then I got to make sure I take a step back and recover for a little bit, because if I don't, boom, I'm down that path. So those are the things I've been thinking about. That's kind of the update on the cancer. And the other crazy thing is that my nurse practitioner had been getting on me for a while to go see a dermatologist, because my dad had melanoma, and 13 years ago I had a little bit of skin cancer. So went into the dermatologist, found out, darn it, I got a second cancer. I got melanoma. So we got a schedule for surgery in 2 spots, and looks like if it's not that serious, that one, they're going to do surgery. What they do is they take it out, they run it in a lab and see how much further they got to cut or much treatment. But we feel pretty good about that. And I get, I'm kind of going on for a minute here, but I'll wrap it up in a second. I get a lot of stuff whenever I tell people, oh man, I got this cancer. Now you got 2 cancers. Man, you're probably doing something wrong. Maybe you shouldn't do this, that, or this. And for all of, sometimes I think that in my head, I was like, man, where am I messing up right now? But what I always look at is I see, I was sitting with my boys at Circle K the other day, and sometimes we just kind of like to watch people or whatever. We're watching people a little bit, and we were talking about the people that are coming out with those big gulps and coming out with some unhealthy food and some little chips and stuff. And hey, not to say that I don't do that, so I have my little treats and things like that, but it's like they're starting their day with this, they're having that as a meal. And I'm like, man, some of these people super overweight, they've been doing this for 30 years, they never exercise, they don't do health optimization, and they don't have cancer. And then I think about pediatric cancer patients where I've been around their families, age 4, age 12, some kind of crazy cancer, and they have to go through treatment to get rid of it. So those are reminders. I get a lot of people every time I say, I'm going through this, I get a lot of stuff. You should try this laser new treatment, or you should try this kind of herb. And I'm always open to that stuff. But over 11 years, I've tried it all, and I've talked to people. I'm very tapped into groups of people that have been battling aggressive cancer. So we talk about this. Our doctors I'm with and in the groups are staff, and they also are tapped into data and trends and what's the latest of what's working with cancer and what's not. And I'm always experimenting. So we've got it under control. I'm always open to things, but in the end, I really appreciate the prayers and the encouragement, because it really feels like no matter how bad it gets, I've got a shield within me, and no matter what, I got little moments here and there, but I feel protected even when it gets really bad. I feel that protection. I believe that's from the prayers and the love and encouragement of people, and I feel like it's just God just showing his realness to me, continuing to show that. And I'm not always exactly sure how to share that, exactly how it really is. But man, I had this latest thing with the blood cancer, and now the second cancer and the bad scan. And this is the 8th progression of disease post allogeneic transplant. That was 6 years ago. So there's nobody alive known that has survived 2 progression of disease. That means you get more cancer activity. I'm at 8 right now. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, God. This is a miracle. I mean, I've never had you're healed or anything like that. I don't even know if I believe that, but man, I've definitely been healed many times so that I can be alive and have these moments, these windows of opening to be able to just do something awesome like this, to be able to podcast with some of the best people I could ever imagine and just have great times. So super grateful. So thanks everybody for prayers, and thanks for listening, because being able to get this out sometimes, it really helps. So much love.
Man,
that's all I got.
That's so nice, man. Yeah, that shield. I mean, I feel like that's just like all the love and like that you get from like everyone around you too. That's real. That's like they care about you. So, I mean, dude, yeah, you're so great. So happy, positive.
And I gotta say again, I can't thank you enough, RJ, for being so supportive to us in so many ways the last couple months. Can't thank you enough, Dana, for how much you've supported our family and our podcast and everything, and Levi and Taya and Tim, Mr. Tim Welch and Mr. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Just unbelievable encouragement. Sean is whenever he speaks to me or we exchange messages, he's just so incredibly encouraging. And I told him it's sweet nourishment coming. I'm such a fan of both of those guys. Sometimes I geek out on it, but it's just so amazing how these guys, how generous and how kind they are. And our thoughts and prayers are really with him this week as Sean is entering into the biggest battle that he's ever had, and Tim too, and their team, and and all of us here rooting for him and things like that. And he's going to go into this deep weight cut and making that 135. I can't even believe he can get to that weight. It's just amazing. He's done it so many times before, but now it's for the championship. It's for the championship of the world. And I think Tim and Sean, I really hope that they understand how many lives they've impacted around the world, especially young men age 16 to 30 or whatever, is just hundreds of thousands of people around the world, inspired them and encouraged them to optimize health. And no matter what happens, it's going to continue to go up. I foresee both these guys, they were just such good business-minded people. I foresee Sugar being an entertainment, continuing to thrive. But no matter what happens, I'm going to claim victory. I'm going to claim knockout of this guy Sterling. But whatever happens, the victory is already there. What are your thoughts, RJ, on this fight coming up?
Man, I'm so excited. I'm nervous. Nervous because I care about him. I can't imagine what you guys, because you actually know him and talk to him. But yeah, it's crazy because he's gonna knock him out for sure. I just don't know how. Front kick probably. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
What do you guys think?
What you got, Dana?
We'll see. I mean, I always every fight with Sugar, I'm like, I always hated since day one. I hated people talking about him not being able to grapple, because it was like we'd see him in the room and how good he is, and I always want him to go all 3 rounds, and in this case you want him to go all 5 rounds for some reason, just to show people like, hey, this guy's got the tank and he's gonna dominate and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, it's like he's got potential now. His weapons are so refined. Like you said, a little front kick to the chin would be nice on a takedown attempt or something like that. But
still recording.
We used to always joke. I'd DM him before fights and I'd be like, go for like a flying triangle or something, just joke around. But yeah, I think it's his time. I think it's his time for sure. So we'll see, man. Yeah. Nah, he'll get him with some type of. I think he's gonna get him with something on one of those takedown attempts. I think he's gonna hit him with a knee or something like that. Yeah, a little uppercut. He's always been good with that little uppercut on the entry. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be something like that.
Yeah, and he fights with his hands down. That's good. Perfect for the takedown. Sick. I'm so excited.
I was watching the other night Augusto Mendez Tanquino against Sterling, watching that fight again, and how close it was. And I know Tanquino had to make weight. I took that fight on a last minute notice and had trouble. The weight cut was really rough on him. So you can kind of see, I felt like Tanquino, that fight was very close, and I felt like he was winning that fight. And then you could kind of see him kind of fade in the 3rd round. I think that weight cut really got to him, but he never really I don't think he was ever in trouble in that fight, Tanquino. And the grappling was, insane. I felt like arguably he might have got the better of Sterling in those grappling exchanges. That was 4 years ago, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. And now that's Sugar's grappling coach. And when Sugar rolls with him, Tanquino is arguably one of the best pound for pounds of all time in grappling. When he rolls with him, Sugar's right there with him. So I don't think people realize what a high level that Sugar's at in his grappling. But then I look at his striking. Oh my gosh! When I thought it couldn't get any better, his last fight, he's gotten that much better. This fight, his speed and his timing and everything, insane. I know Adesanya is at the top of the game, but man, I'm seeing Sugar do things in striking and MMA striking I've never seen before in terms of speed and timing and movement and function and things like that. I'm so stoked for him. And I think all those health optimization things he does, being #1 sleep score in the UFC, all of these things he's done in this training camp, cutting out streaming, not being on his phone as much. This dude is so incredibly focused, and it just encourages me so much. That's why I love the fight so much, because I'm battling this stuff, and I see these guys, what they're doing at the top of the level in terms of training, what they go through. My thing on one end is easier, because I got to do this. I'm motivated by, like, I don't want to go in the hospital or die or something, and theirs is, it's got to be hard sometimes to get motivated, because man, when you're making it, Sugar is very successful in many areas, business wise and marketing, and very well off financially. So to get motivated to go in there at this level and have that level of discipline, to me, that's super motivating and inspiring.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he's a really good leader, someone to look up to. He got a great outlook. Yeah.
What's the word, Dane? We'll probably wrap up here in a second, huh?
Yeah, usually we always ask people kind of a scenario that they've been in that, kind of took them to the Untapped. So, of course, you don't get to escape that either. What is something that, situation or anything like that, or even advice on how to get out of a tough situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like weird, like, but I broke my hand like twice. I had like a bad experience, and I broke my hand twice, and had to get like 6 pins in my hand. Ooh. And like I worked, that was like right after I was got into like being healthy and stuff, and like I was on a roll, had like the momentum, and then that happened, and then like I couldn't do some stuff, it's just like annoying. Then I was like got into stoicism, stopped feeling bad for myself, so I'd say starting to like get into stoicism. I mean, that's a great practice that you can do.
Heck yeah.
Control what you can, let go what you can't.
Right.
Beautiful, man. What position did you play in baseball?
Shortstop.
Ooh. We got catcher and shortstop. You can't beat that. And we got Levi pitching. Ooh, that's a whole team.
We can throw some people out.
Yeah, when you come out, we'll play. We'll toss a ball around. I got a mitt for you.
Awesome, that'll be fun. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, you guys got anything else? Last words?
When do you graduate? When's graduation for you?
Yeah, that'll be the beginning of December.
Woo! Heck yeah, man. Well, I look forward to meeting you when you come out here. I know Kyle's excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited to meet everyone. It's gonna be so exciting.
Man, beautiful podcast. It's so much fun. It's like 1 minute goes by. I don't even know how much time went by, but we're really grateful for you, RJ. Thanks so much for the time, and we look forward to more times of this, and can't wait for what's ahead in the future. Everybody, join us in prayers and thoughts for Sugar and Tim up ahead. We're praying and calling God right now for a great weight cut, them to have windows of time where they can really enjoy things, and everything just to continue to go to impacting people worldwide and growing the brand that they've developed. We love it so much, and protect the fighters. We give prayers to Sterling and his mama and family too, and we just ask for victory in this one, and no matter what, we thank you, Lord, for these times, and give you praise, and that's all I got. Amen. And Untapped episode number 29. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a best day.
Peace, RJ. Thanks.